I think when one undertakes a major affair like traveling thousands of miles through many countries, some of which have been in recent times the subject of revolution, even war, it would be foolish not to be nervous, because although we trust everything in the end to God, we don't cross the road recklessly. Why put God to the test? So it would be foolish not to be nervous. But we must ask God for his blessing on such a journey. I'm sure that God will bless this journey, as God blessed all the journeys that we have undertaken in this cause. And sensible precautions and preparations are being made by the organizers. We'll make sure that people have the right clothing, the right vehicle, that they have enough money to put petrol in the vehicle, that they have enough food or money to buy food so that they're not going to starve on the journey. And we have friends in all the countries who will make sure that people are looked after when they get to them, especially in Turkey and thereafter.
It's 14th of August, which is Pakistan Independence Day. We deliberately chose this day so we could obviously give something back to Pakistan on their independence. It's not an easy journey, it's a very long, tough journey. The last 6 months have been very intense for us, but you guys turning up here, showing your support, giving your donations beforehand has made this possible. If it wasn't for you guys, we won't be here. And inshallah, pray for us. It is a long journey, and I thank obviously our volunteers here for turning up to support this cause, and obviously the people of Luton and the respected country that have turned up here, mashallah. So thank you very much.
My name is Mubashir Hassan, and only a few weeks ago I had a meeting with Mercy Worldwide, who had a vision of taking British ambulances to the Indus Valley in Pakistan and distributing aid to the flood victims. We are off on a journey where 21 UK nationals, travelling 6,500 miles through 10 countries in 10 British ambulances, all in the name of charity. The road to Indus Valley.
Nobody's attempted to take such a convoy with this kind of aid during this time into Pakistan, and so it's not only the first major convoy that's going into Pakistan, it's something that's never been done before. So given the obstacles of the countries we'll be crossing through, the time it'll take, the terrain that we have to cross, it's something quite remarkable that you're part of something that's going to become history, and you'll be known as the people that took a convoy, a humanitarian aid convoy, into Pakistan against the odds.
Finally, we've made it to Folkestone. Hopefully the next mission now is to get to France, and then I think it will relax a bit as well. I think it'll be easy, the crossover. We're on the Eurostar, making our way into France, from where we're going to drive all the way into Belgium. It's going to be a few-hour drive, but it's all a part of the package. Should be good, should be fun.
Well, we have an obligation to do everything that we can, and this will stretch from the ability to pray for the souls of the departed, to pray for the success of those clinging still to life in these extraordinary circumstances, to raise funds for the relief of those people, to press their politicians for the British government to play a better and bigger role in the relief of those victims, and to press for change in Pakistan so that the country is better able to cope with such natural disasters. Because, of course, if this flood had happened in Britain, there would not have been hundreds of thousands of deaths, because Britain is rich and Pakistan is poor. Britain is well organized and Pakistan is poorly organized. So we must try to close the gap between the rich countries and the poor countries, and that means by the rich and powerful countries helping the poor and less powerful.
We stopped at a service. We're at Belgium, which is very good news, which means there's like my ears are blocked. I don't know what I'm saying at the moment. We're in Belgium. Hopefully we're going to stop now, have probably some food from the service station, relax, fill up, and carry on heading. We're going to sleep here tonight in Belgium, so I'm glad we made it. That was constant driving for about 2 hours, but we've made it. That's the main thing. As you can see behind us, we have 2 elder members of the road trip who are actually helping out with cooking. I mean, they brought a gas cooker with them, they brought ingredients, and funnily enough, what they done was when we were still in London, in England, in fact, in Luton, and when our ambulance was not working properly, it was these guys who were waiting for us in Maidstone service stations, and that's where they actually prepared this. And now, a few hours later, we're in Belgium, and they're cooking it, and they're going to actually help and serve everyone with some food. I think this is really good because a lot of guys are actually fasting today as well, so it's a really, really good touch, and it also shows the importance of having elder members with you on a road trip like this, because you know you've got that sort of fatherly figure, and you've got people that you sort of respect, and you sort of, you know, people like me and Madge and Kurum, we're a bit, you know, we like having a laugh and that, so you know you stay a bit tamed as well. And more so to the point, it's like, you know, it's respect, and it's people coming together, and it's unity, and this is what this road trip's about. And the fact that we're at a service station and they're cooking for everyone, that in itself it's a blessing.
That petrol station.
The petrol station in England?
Yeah.
When you were waiting for us guys when we were late.
The food is fantastic. When you've been fasting all day, anything will do, but something nice and hot, just the job done.
This service station is where we shall park and stay for tonight, before setting off for Luxembourg first thing in the morning. Having everyone eat together felt nice. It was good. Especially as we don't know each other that well yet. First night sleeping in the ambulance and the tents. I never thought I'd do this. Got the bed here, which we're going to be sharing between the 3 of us, 1 person per night. I think Kurum's going to take it tonight, Madge will take it tomorrow, I'll take it the day after. We'll keep rotating. Then what me and Madge, let's say, we'll do tonight is we'll put a few duvet covers down and we're going to sleep on this floor.
Mob. What's going on, mate?
Good. What's the time?
It's around 7 in the morning. We've got about 50 minutes before we go again. Mob.
What's up?
Get up, mate.
Yeah,
about
cool.
50 minutes.
Cool, man. In this road trip, we were given a lowdown of driving safely and the risks in driving across the world. But this was just a clumsy, clumsy mistake by me. What was I thinking?
It's X-rated stuff right now.
I'm so sorry.
It's absolutely X-rated stuff.
That's my fault. It was my fault. What have I done was, you know, I thought what I'd do is I thought I'd go through here, and at the same time I was trying to get someone's attention. And I was going to, mate, should I come through here and join the convoy? And I just bloody hit a plant, man. Thank God the tyres, nothing's happened to the tyre. Louis, I think Lala, Uncle Dalit, Mr. Shah, I think they all just saved me, to be honest. I mean, these ambulances are worth a lot and I couldn't afford the damage on them, and luckily there's no damage on the ambulances. Usually a safe driver. I really don't know what the hell happened to me there. I don't know what the hell I was thinking, man. Just totally messed that up so badly. I feel so embarrassed, you don't understand. Even though we drove through most of Europe, the scenery never failed to amaze us. After leaving Belgium that night, which seems so long ago, we've just been driving and driving and driving. We've drove through Luxembourg, Austria, Germany. 3 countries that had probably the best roads in the world and some fabulous views. I know Madge, being the cameraman, had an awesome time here. We then got into Eastern Europe, and this amazing change occurred. Once we got into Hungary, the roads, the scenery, everything just changed. I can't believe this. We've just gone from like a really soft turf on the motorway, and we've come into Hungary, or we've come into Romania, excuse me, and it's like, my God, it's shaking. It's like the roads, the scenery, everything around us is totally different.
On the morning of the 14th of August, that morning it was a beautiful morning for everybody. You could see it, and everybody was excited, ecstatic, and they knew that we're leaving. The 6 months of hard work has finally paid off, and I could see that real, feel-good factor in everybody. And we left the UK, we entered into France, and everybody was on a real boost. Like, yeah, we're on a mission, we're on our way, we're going places. And then pretty much through Europe, we swung into Germany, we hit the autobahns, people got a feel of that, and then we stopped, we stayed at the German border, then we crossed into like Austria, and the scenery there, people were absolutely shocked by it. They were like, you could see their jaws hanging out, and it just got better. We entered into Romania, we entered into Hungary, and all of these places, we went into Romania, there was a complete mood change, again, of scenery, the way we are, and people were just like fascinated by what was going on. We're on this road, they could see the vehicles in their rearview mirrors, they could see the Indus Valley Relief Convoy, in, say, Romania, and then we went through this rugged terrain where we've got mountains and we've got valleys running underneath us, and the radios were completely quiet, and you could see people like snapping away, taking shots, and everybody was really enjoying it.
We're in a service station in Romania. We're going to be staying here tonight. I've been told to park like this, as you can see in front of you. Yeah, we're going to park and leave the car here tonight and be staying here tonight. It's a bit different. It's been a very random day today, and because of the change, we're sort of being very spontaneous until we get to Turkey. Because of the change, we've been spontaneous because of Turkey, and hopefully, we'll things will be good. Hopefully, this is all a part of the, I guess, the road trip.
Brothers, how are you?
guys, क्या हाल है सरकार?
बिल्कुल सेट
ठीक ठाक
आप सुनाएं यार
आप सुनाएं ठीक ठाक
बिल्कुल सेट
all the best. How you doing, guys? You alright? Tired?
Yeah, we're just contemplating whether to sleep or not.
Sleep?
Got a big one tomorrow, so
How many hours are we actually?
Well, it's about 600 miles there. But what they're saying is if we could do 600 miles, we potentially could get into Turkey, so...
really?
Tomorrow evening, yeah.
Okay, that's great news. I mean, that's really good news. My reason for coming here now is, the truth is, I couldn't sleep. Right? And I was speaking to Ahmed for about 2.5 hours, and just catching up and everything. Now, just explaining to him how we're getting on so far and everything. And I see you brothers chatting, and I see Majid over here as well. He's not doing his job. So I thought, no. I just thought, grab Majid up as well, and just went over a few things.
Yeah.
And we thought, there's no better time than now. I mean, if you guys just wanted to, if I could ask you guys a few questions. Whereabouts and howabouts did you guys raise the money, to get here?
Well, I mean, I think it started about 4 months ago when Amr spoke to me.
Right.
And after that, it was a variety of things, to be honest. Car washes, charity car washes. So obviously getting stuck in and getting involved and raising the money like that. Selling Krispy Kremes, that raised a bit of money. And we've done a charity football tournament, which is obviously in Burton. We've done it. I'd just like to mention this is all from Burton because obviously we've done it in the name of, you may have seen it, one of the ambulances, a brother of Mirza Ali. So He was quite close, like family friend and a young lad, and kind of passed away a few years ago. So, Allah grant him Jannah.
What's the inspiration behind all this?
I mean, I've always had it in me. I've always wanted to do something like this. But I think there was them excuses like, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can commit to it. I've got other things. I'm busy. And I think it was just, kind of maturing attitude and kind of, to kind of try changing my lifestyle. And I said, look, I've got to get rid of this mentality that I can't, do it for certain reasons, and really get up and do it. And I suppose in a way it was kind of like, stop doing kind of the talking and start doing the walking, I suppose. And that's what really pushed me. I think it was a personal thing for me. It was kind of something inside kind of said, look, stop talking about it, stop thinking about it, get up and do it.
How did you go on about, I mean, you're working in a retail job, and how did you go on about raising the money, I mean, to get to this trip?
Well, it all started about 5 weeks before, I should think. Shiraz came out to Nottingham and put the idea towards me, like saying, do you want to come and why didn't you do it, sort of thing. And I think after that it became a bit of a push, like, come on, let's do it. And ever since then it's been non-stop, like car washes, film nights. I mean, my mate's got a shisha cafe, doing film nights there, and just cheap and cheerful things really. I mean, a most successful thing with like a girls event, just sort of Asian ladies get together, mingle and have some small sip of coffee, that sort of little things like that really,
Now, but what inspires you to do this? What was that ticking factor?
I think personally, I mean, I've always wanted to help, do some aid work, but I've always wanted to do for many years in a different country. But then I had the opportunity to into Pakistan, where my family are from. So with the travelling the long distance, I mean, I'm sure Shiraz has mentioned it before, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Absolutely.
And on a personal, I think it's a personal journey for myself. I mean, like maybe I'll find who I am personally, and what kind of things that I like, because I enjoy doing charity work. I mean, past 5-6 weeks, you've had a laugh at the same time. I mean, I've realised, what I'm good at.
This is an issue of charity. This is an issue of humanitarianism. A guy works in Asda, is training to be a copper, and there's another guy here who's graduated and he's going into design construction or construction management, and he's taking the time out, and they're taking valuable time out of their lives. Whereas other guys their age at the moment are sitting at home playing the PlayStation, or I don't know, Call of Duty, whatever the game's called. They're playing that and they're doing their thing, but there's people here who are actually doing something of the time and making a difference.
My experiences of taking these convoys throughout the world are that the leadership needs to be quite strong and prepared for any eventuality. Having strong leadership is essential, but the volunteers, they're the critical element to these convoys, because they're the ones that we're riding on and making the convoy possible. Now with the volunteers, once they get out of the UK and start heading, they get out of their comfort zone, they can get quite temperamental. And because we're completely volunteer based, everybody's a volunteer, so they feel that they have some rights having donated or contributed. So at times, how the volunteers respond in certain situations, being out their comfort zone and in an alienated terrain, that's where we face quite a few challenges that the leadership then needs to overcome and help us complete the mission. And that's mainly related to the volunteers. Then you have other obstacles as border crossings and situations like with governments and how they're going to react to us when we go on through their country. And they're just challenges that we just accept and take as we approach these countries.
We're in our final stretch of Eastern Europe and Bulgaria and heading towards Turkey. Turkey, a country which every volunteer has been anticipating the arrival of, as this shall be the first time that in this aid mission we actually get to relax and enjoy a country and absorb the culture. The best thing for us is that we will be having our first day off from driving. The perfect opportunity to recharge our batteries. We're in Turkey. Well, we're still at the borders, waiting to get our x-rays done. We've got the stamps and everything. X-rays meaning on the ambulances. Once we've done this, then we're in Turkey. 2 days just of chilling, just of relaxing, getting, you know, the energy back, revitalising ourselves, and then off to that 3-day trip to Iran, and then to our final destination, our objective, and the reason why we are doing all this is to get to Pakistan.
Stressed out at the minute because they're trying to do the x-rays on the cars and we're just waiting.
Yeah.
You know, that's what's the most upsetting bit is. But so far so good.
Hello.
Hello, Basha.
How you doing, my brother?
As if it was to be almost in Turkey.
It feels great, my brother. I'm just stuck at the border. They want to scan me in and out. I don't mind them scanning me because I'm clean. I've got nothing to hide.
Did you wash today, yeah?
I had a little wash in the morning at the jet wash, yeah. I paid them and I feel clean, very healthy. But as you can see...
Just to confirm, you had a jet wash. You washed yourself at a petrol pump?
No, they washed me. I paid them.
Oh, they washed you?
Yeah, why not, bro? Yeah. Services, innit? You got to pay for these services, bro. You don't get them back in England.
You live in luxury, my friend.
Yeah, man, I'm ready to hit Istanbul, get some chicken down me, go on Ruthless over there.
Yes.
Show these boys I'm here.
That's it.
And I've got a few thousand miles to go, but hopefully I should knock you off within a couple of days.
They're saying that the ambulances are not on our name, and they're saying they're on the NHS's name, and they're going on about themselves. But inshallah, it's been sorted out. The situations were moving slowly after some convincing that we're not crooks.
We are officially now in Turkey. 2 days to chill out. This is going to sort everything out. I'm actually really looking forward to this now. We've made it at last to the Blue Mosque where we parked up. What a feeling. We've got the calls of prayers behind us, for morning prayers that is. We're going to relax ourselves and then hopefully as a whole group we're going to come to pray tomorrow at the Blue Mosque for Friday prayers, and then during the day relax, just chill out, get some rest and then continue our journey. Driving constantly for so many days really took it out of us. Finally having a day off felt really good. So we thought we'd take advantage of this and do all the touristy things. Turkey is amazing and Istanbul has so much history and culture. As we were staying around the Sultan Ahmet area of Istanbul and being in the holy month of Ramadan in the Islamic calendar, me and Kurun went to the famous market called the Ramazanda, which means the long-standing arts and tastes of Ramadan market. She was with this on, yeah?
Yeah. No. Come on.
No. Try. Oh, I'm too shy. I feel embarrassed.
Garsonun dayısının oğlu.
See you guys. It's not just a case of selling it. They're actually really nice people, having a laugh, having a joke, talking to you. And the Istanbul people actually make you feel welcome, make you feel, you know, like you actually want to buy something, believe it or not. Whereas in England, there's no customer service. I've just realised that today.
Uzun ince bir yoldayım. Gidiyorum gündüz gece. Bilmiyorum gece, gündüz gece. Hey. Bilmiyorum ne haldayım, gidiyorum gündüz gece, gündüz gece, gündüz gece. Hey.
Very good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Hey. Thank you so much. That was so good.
Good flight.
Thank
See you next time, maybe.
Yeah, definitely.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. How good was he, mate? I was hoping for a free kebab as well, but you know what? That was all right. I really enjoyed that. He was excellent. Thank you so much. Thank you. Love that. Love that. That was absolutely brilliant. Shame we didn't get no free food, but oh well.
Today was a good day, a day where we enjoyed our surroundings and the culture of Turkey and Istanbul. In the evening, we met with our fellow volunteers to unwind. And later on that night, we caught up with Ashraf from Alpha One, who offered his opinions on the aid mission to the Indus Valley.
We're just charity workers, and what we're not doing this for the government or for any political party. We're just doing it for the good people of Pakistan. If we can do a little bit to help, that would be great. But the problem we've had is, even in Bradford, the people who belong to Pakistan or Kashmir have said, you know, we're not that interested in sending aid to Pakistan because it will never get there. We were held in the city centre of Bradford, holding buckets in the shopping centre and collecting coins. And I remember this English man and woman, a couple, came up and they thought, you know, charity, so maybe drop a few pennies in there. And they came close and they asked, they said, what are you guys doing? Where are you raising money for? And we said, you know, the floods in Pakistan happened and we need to take some aid. And they pulled their pound back and they said, sorry, we're not going to give for Pakistan. And that was a little bit difficult to deal with, because you think charity is charity wherever you want to send it, right? Regardless of religion and caste and creed or colour. Why have we done that? And they took some time and explained. They said billions of dollars have gone to Pakistan. The Pakistani government have taken the aids wherever they've gone. Our representatives actually went to Pakistan, into the areas that were affected by the floods, and the people there said the ministers have come, had their pictures taken outside our villages, helicopters have come, you know, to do that, but no aid actually got it. You know, when the ministers went, we never saw a pair of socks even.
When leaving England, I remember my father telling me, Majid and Khurram that the one sight we would absolutely love is the Bosphorus Bridge. He claimed how beautiful it was, and the most amazing thing about this bridge is how we leave Europe and enter the Asia side of Turkey. Now at the time, I was a bit baffled by this, but the one thing I do know is that my father was absolutely right. The well-deserved break, a day of just relaxing and enjoying Istanbul in the evening, catching up with the fellow volunteers, has really helped. The enthusiasm is back amongst all the volunteers. Batteries are recharged, and all we want now is to reach our destination. But sometimes, on journeys like these, you do things, I don't know, out of excitement or out of boredom.
very different. People say that you only really know someone when you travel with them. This is even more acutely true when a group of brothers are traveling a very long way in a very difficult way. It's one thing getting on an airplane and going somewhere. It's a different thing driving there, and to try to do so in convoy. So unity is important. To have unity, you need leaders, and you have to follow the leader, and the leader has to listen to the followers. The leader is the leader, but the people at the back have to be able to see the leader, and the leader has to be able to see the people at the back. And if you approach it in that spirit, then I'm sure that God will bless the enterprise. The important thing is to keep in mind the end goal. The purpose of the trip is not the trip itself. That's a bonus. The purpose of the trip is to deliver the aid to people who need it. And if you keep that prize in mind, then I'm sure that everything will be good.
Ignore all these buffers that come through. Just keep coming through. Charlie 1, all of you.
Finally, we're out of Turkey. That was long. Probably the longest drive I've ever done in my life. Making it to Iran now. I'm really, really tired, but I'm relieved as well. Iran, a few days ahead than Pakistan. I'm just glad we've come this far.
Well, as we got to the border, and I knew there was a few people now looking for excuses to say, oh, Iran are going to treat us this way, that way. They'd already made their mind up. So once we got over the border and the Iranians started processing us, and they were hosting us, you know, the welcome committee we had met them, and there was a lot of checks that the Iranians do on British citizens, i.e. they take pictures and they take your fingerprints. Now all that was waived because of the dignified mission that we were on, so they felt that we don't need to do this for these guys. And during that little wait, I could see people getting a bit anxious. Why are we waiting here? But they didn't understand that this was the first and the only country that was hosting us officially.
I'm feeling very, very tired, but also very relieved and happy that inshallah we have made it to the border of Iran.
Yep.
We've had our vehicles checked and custom cleared, and we'll be making our way towards Tehran, inshallah. Yeah, this was a great reception. You know, we had people come and help us out with the customs and the, you know, passport clearance and the visas and stuff. It was very good of them, very kind of them, and we appreciate that.
This is the moment I've been preparing the lads for. We've made it to Iran. Good morning or good afternoon. I don't know what the time is. Just woke up. We stayed outside an Islamic centre. A lot of people stayed inside there. We stayed in the ambulance. Very good feeling talking to locals as well. Very nice people. It's very hot. I don't even know what the plan is for today yet, but just very tired. I think we're heading to Tehran. It's about an 8-hour drive. So, Khuda Hafiz. So we shall see how it goes.
Sure. What I want you to do is to give me 5 negatives and 5 positives about Iran. Go.
About what?
Iran.
About Iran?
About Iran.
The positives, I haven't even seen it.
5 positives, 5 negatives.
I haven't even seen it yet.
What about hospitality? Look at the food.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. The food, the roof, where we stay in accommodation, the car parking, the service, the camera crew.
That's 5.
That's 5. Negatives. Showers, definitely 1. And that's it so far at the minute. Communication skills too. That's it really.
That's all.
I haven't had no negatives yet.
Only 2 negatives, man.
2 p.m. As you can see, it's got rice, butter, chicken, tomatoes. I'm ready to yum this, bro. Yeah, let me into this. I think you just eat a bit, right?
but the Hindus are vegetarian. It's like Muslims, not all of them drink alcohol.
Never skip it. It doesn't matter what time I get up. 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock.
The hospitality here is amazing. I was quite shocked to be honest. I mean, you know, a lot of special cases around really, but I mean, you know, the people here are very nice and treated very well. You know, very caring. I mean, young guys who's all wanted, quite intrigued by is what we're doing, why we're doing it for, sort of thing. So you know, very nice people here. So we're very happy about it. Yeah.
As soon as we got here, it was just. As soon as we got over the border, it was just like a completely different environment and atmosphere.
Did you, for a second, like, honest with me, and I'm cutting you off, did you, when you first got in the border, feel a bit nervous?
Definitely did. Because obviously, you know, you get quite sceptical. You hear a lot about criticising and stuff about Iran and stuff like that. But the people are really lovely. The hospitality is great, and you wouldn't expect something. It's something out of the blue that come out to us, and we actually, you know, they're actually very like to us quite dear. Like, you know, really nice. They actually give us good hospitality, and you know, what more can you ask for?
A couple of younger lads on the convoy. Again, that scepticalness, that, you know, that thing you have when you first join a border, especially an Iranian border, thinking this is what they're going to be like, that's what they're going to be like. But then once they got into the hospitality and everything kicked in, it's a total different scenery now. As to what me and Madge were like when we first got here, and Kurum, you know, we didn't want to know. But now we don't want to leave. The one thing that was the biggest surprise to each and every one of us was the hospitality of the Iranian people. Their kindness, their hospitality, and the way they welcomed us made us feel very special. It's weird, the country we fear to travel in the most is a country who's welcomed us with open arms. It's really looked after us. We drove through Iran. It's a shame I can't say the same about the roads of Iran as I can say about the Iranian people, as the Iranian roads are very rocky and very hard to drive on. Not something Majid or Kurum would know about, as they haven't drove. What doesn't help the situation is that Iran and England have one thing in common, and that one thing in common is unpredictable weather.
Big up Yankee 1.
Yankee 1.
Yankee 1, the best.
Yankee 1 train.
The best.
The best.
Yes.
Yes.
Always.
Always.
But everyone's back.
God bless.
You can put that in the bloopers.
It has started to rain. The one fear that we had, we used the back of, or the middle of our ambulance to jump out and make like films from, and like to get sceneries and locations. And now Madge is at the back trying to cover it, but he's finding it absolutely hard. The one thing we feared has happened. It's raining really, really badly. Trying to keep the speed low to keep all the road trip guys together as well. But I'm finding it difficult at the moment, but hopefully this is going to stop soon. We stayed in a community centre in a city called Shurud. It was literally one big room with bunk beds. This gave us all the opportunity to bond with one another. Everyone let their hair down.
You gotta take your shoes off, yeah? This is my bedroom.
Sukhne vich milya mai te main gal vich pa liyan ba dar di mari akh na khola kidre bichhna दुनिया उते कई संगतां ते आखिर विथा गईयां ओ जिन्ना बाज एक पल ना विछड़े अज ओ शक्ला याद न रहियां देस माई दा खाना काबा से हज जरूरी करिए ओ तकवा रख महबूबा वाला ते चल द्वारा मलिए जद महबूब प्यारे विछड़न ते कौन रोवे मुड़ थोड़ा सब रोगां दा रोग मुहम्मद जिस दा नाम विछोड़ा
Good morning and a very happy Eid to everyone. It's Eid day today. We're in an area called Bijan, which is right near the borders now. Finally, we're making it to Pakistan. We're going to make it to Zaidan, we're going to cross over to Taftan. But it's Eid day today. And weird feelings. People are hugging, people are happy. You know how it is when it's Eid. But a lot of people I can notice are missing their families. It's a sacrifice we took. You know, I think I'm missing my family as well, believe it or not. You know, I'm missing a few people, but hopefully we'll be with them next Eid. Today, we just want to get to Pakistan and get this Eid out.
Just a bit of information I've had through from Pakistan early this morning. Okay, this morning there was a bomb blast in Quetta, approximately 1 kilometre from where our team was heading on the outskirts of Quetta towards the border. At the moment, the police has cordoned off the whole area, and then obviously, for obvious reasons, not letting anybody move. Since we've been on the road pretty much, there has been rockets fired onto trains travelling through that area. There has been minibuses attacked en route to the border, and in the last, like I said, last couple of days, there's been a good about 10 occasions where there's been some kind of rocket fire or some kind of attempt of losing life of people that are in that area. Now what they say is that now we must understand the situation there. We need to be very careful and we must work within security guidelines. So what they're saying is that if they whatever they say, we must abide by their rules and just keep going. If they want us to stop in a specific place for 4 or 5 days, it doesn't mean that they want to keep us there. And even now, they don't even allow us through the border once we've secured the route to Quetta. But we will proceed to Zaidan now, and inshallah we'll take it as it comes. Whatever news I get, I'm going to keep relaying to you guys. And everybody, you knew this is going to be difficult from the start, and everybody needs to be patient, make dua, and inshallah, let's just stay together and hope for the best.
Finally, we shall reach our destination. You know, I've just driven 6,500 miles all by myself through 10 countries. My alopecia has grown on my face due to the stress of this journey. My arms are covered with mosquito bites. I have a shocking whiplash, but I'm still driving. All the volunteers are tired. Some are homesick. Some missing their children. Some are just ill. And now Amir tells us about the stretch we are crossing and how lives were taken here. Apparently there was a bomb blast. It is dangerous, but we knew that when we left home. Amir, this is it now. Nearly. This is it. We're like touching distance now.
Yep.
Everything's out the way. The Iran, Turkey. You know, we've covered all the countries. How are you feeling?
Yeah, absolutely relieved in one sense that we're at the border, still all together. All the vehicles are fine, and somewhat looking forward to getting into Pakistan and completing the mission.
You never know what's going to happen. You know, you could be sitting in home and, you know, a plane could fall on top of something. So I personally, for me, it's like being at home in Luton.
Yeah. Can't wait to get through Pakistan border, inshallah. Bring your
Once we're done
passport,
that, that's
main. That's the first mission completed, and after that is the aid.
Relieved.
Yeah.
After a very long 3-week journey.
Yeah. No.
The end is now in sight, although we
Yeah.
still have a fair bit of journey to cover within Pakistan. But of course, we entered the Pakistan, the last border, and let's hope they treat us as good as the Turkish and the Iranians have treated us.
Absolutely.
I can't believe I'm at the border of Pakistan and Iran. This is what I always wanted to do since I was a kid. And I'm like an hour away from completing my mission and my dream. And once I cross that border, I'm home all the way.
Get them to Pakistan.
This is torture.
What you expect someone to get across the border?
Regarding expecting and expectations, I'll be very honest with you. There are expectations. You know, we just spoke to these guys as well. We all know what's going on. You know, it's in the news. Balochistan, the province itself, you know, there's sectarian issues for some weird reason. You know, rocket launchers are going off. Bombs have been thrown everywhere, grenades. You know, I've even, you know, the stuff that you hear, but it's mentally, it's how you cope with it. But why is this going on in this country for? I really don't know. That's the sad fact of it. You know, apparently I've heard like, we can't drive during the evening because what's going to happen is, it's hard because you've got looters who will come and loot your ambulances, even though these ambulances are going there to help people. Even though they're going there to be gifted to the flood victims.
Iranis, innit? They don't like Pakistanis. That's what it is. Just explain it.
Charlie 1.
Yes?
Yes. Well, Pakistan is a poor country, was always a poor country from its inception. When the British Empire arrived in what was then called India, it was the richest part of the world. And when the British Empire left, it was the poorest part of the world. You don't have to be a genius to work out what happened in between. The British stole it all. They looted the empire, and they ensured that the countries of the empire would be subjugated to their economic interests. So by the time Pakistan came into being, it was a poor country. And the way that the world is organized and is run has made it very difficult for poor countries to get off the floor. Some have, and their examples are ones to study carefully. But Pakistan has been bedeviled by several specific characteristics. One is the overwhelming weight of dictatorship. Pakistan has, for half of its life, lived under military dictatorship. And the other half, it has lived under politicians who have been largely a disappointment and who have, in any case, operated under the shadow of military dictatorship, just waiting in the wings to take over. This has to change. India, the country next door, has not had any military dictatorships. Indian governments have, by and large, been democratic, accepted the verdicts of the people. When an election takes place in India, the Prime Minister moves out that night, and the new Prime Minister moves into the Prime Minister's house. And nobody even asks, will the army take over? And India is doing very well, and Pakistan is not. Other countries with different systems nearby, like China, through unity and hard work, have picked themselves up from even lower than Pakistan was in 1948. China was more poor than Pakistan was. When the revolution triumphed in China, just 1 year after Pakistan independence, China was poorer than Pakistan. And now it's the second richest country in the world. And in 20 years, maybe less, it will be the richest country in the world. So these examples have to be studied, and people have to learn lessons.
This is why we came. This is why 21 Brits travelled 6,500 miles, all in the name of charity. What a feeling. Honestly, it hasn't sinked in yet, but what a feeling. We're in Pakistan. There was times on this journey when I thought we were not going to make it, but we pulled through, and we are here. You know, there was people back home who laughed when I said that an organisation called Mercy Worldwide is taking ambulances to the flood victims in the Indus Valley, and we're going to distribute aid first-hand to these flood victims. No one believed us. Questions were raised over how the ambulances will make it on such a tough journey. All of them made it, and in one piece. We were told to be careful of Iran, yet it was the Iranians who helped us the most. It made me realise one thing: we cannot stereotype nations. All humans are the same, all humans are equal. Just because of governments, we should not narrow caste individuals. 21 volunteers of all ages and from all over the UK became a family over a period of time just to embark on this journey. Whilst giving the aid, there was a sense of relief. We may not be rich ourselves, but there are so many out there who really need our help. This journey made me and each and every one of us realise this. It was a relief to help. It felt good. Different, but good. But what was touching, what made us all emotional, was the flood victims. How down to earth and humble they were. They have nothing, yet we have everything compared to them. But they were so humble. We have so much, yet we complain. My father always says, give to people in need and God will give you more. He's right. The one thing I have learned, and the one thing that I can say, is that God has opened my eyes and has made me grateful for what I have. The Indus Valley is an area larger than Italy and England. Many lives have been lost. Mothers have lost their children. Children have lost their parents. Houses and generations have been destroyed. The Indus Valley in Pakistan needs your help. Please give. Have we achieved something? I don't know. But one thing I do know is that we will never forget our journey on the road to Indus Valley.
You achieved the credit of having acted rather than just spoken. There are people who speak a lot, and there are people who do. Talk is cheap. Action speaks louder than words. Your action will have been heard. I hope it will be heard on the Judgment Day. It certainly has been heard in terms of the audience in front of whom you travel and the mission that you carried out will have brought some relief to some people. It's a drop in the ocean, but every drop counts towards an ocean. You can't have an ocean if you don't have any drops. And so I think that this mission was a heroic thing to do. The people who did it can be proud of it always. Their families can be proud of it. It will count, I hope, to their credit on the last day. And the people they helped will be forever grateful to it. What's not to love about all that?
We're in France now, we're in Istanbul. Straight off to Iran, we're on a mission. I can't believe this. We've just gone from like a really soft turf on the motorway, and we've come into Hungary, or we've come into Romania, excuse me, and it's like, my God, it's shaking. It's like the roads, the scenery, everything around us is totally different.
Charity is charity, regardless to who you help that's poor. Inshallah, it's for the reward and, just to get that personal satisfaction within yourself that, I've done something that's put a smile on someone else's face. It's an amazing feeling.
I love you, Aggie.
Salut, EID.